So hello everyone, welcome to a short YouTube video here. You're joining me out on my walk again. It's getting a bit warmer. We've moved away from the woolly hat to the summer attire. What I want to do is give you advance warning now that at the time of publishing this to YouTube, we will be opening TDW Live registration very shortly. And I know that since the beginning of the year, we have had an awful lot of kind of pre-registrations when we launched the new website. So Claire will be in touch with you shortly to discuss how you can get access to the event in Congresbury again this year and how you'll get your early bird rates. However, this is a public service announcement. After several discussions with Claire and kind of a bit of to and froing, soul searching, etc., we have decided this year, for several reasons of which I'm going to share with you, this will be our last TDW Live annual event. And before I hear all of the collective sighs and disappointments, there are several reasons why we're doing that. And when I started Tech Docs UK, as it was back then, 17, 18 years ago, the idea was to break down back then the perceived barrier between communications between the supply chain, vendors, suppliers, etc., into the UK MOD. And I won't go into the histrionics, but there was perceived gatekeepers back then preventing software vendors, suppliers, etc., accessing or talking to the UK MOD. As far as breaking down that barrier, I believe mission accomplished. That no longer exists. The barrier, hopefully it's not too windy, it's a bit blustery here, but what I wanted to do was break down that barrier. Over the years, Tech Docs UK became TDW Live, and we morphed into a wider data IPS event. Certainly the last 5 or 6 events have been very data IPS focused, and also a lot of AI type stuff is now coming in. So why have we decided TDW Live will be sunset for now? I never say never, never say I won't bring it back. But for now, we've decided that this year in November will be our last event in Congresbury. Now, the reality is there are already lots of other industry events out there, and there are the formal events that you can attend from ASD, AIA, ATA. Now, TDW Live has always been about knowledge sharing, education first. It's never been about making money. Claire will share the numbers with you if you want them. We never, ever made a tremendous amount of money on the events. And in fact, probably taken years off our lives as well in terms of stress and working towards a successful event. My vision with all of these events was about how do I exchange data and knowledge with the attendees so they can take that knowledge into their respective businesses and actually gain something from the event. It's always been about knowledge first, knowledge transfer first, and how I've maybe learned something myself, AI, data analytics, and then how can I share that knowledge with the attendees, which is been again part of our mission success with TDW Live. However, The annual events that, you know, are run by the formal organisations, ASD, ATA, etc. It was never our intent to compete with those events. But, you know, the reality is that they are there, and they are good events if you're entering the market wanting to learn, you know, what IPS is about, what the S series is about, etc. I tend not to go to those events because I personally have not learnt anything from any of those events over the last few times of going. And if I'm being particularly honest, and this has been said to me before, there's a lot of the same old presentations that we've been having for the last 15, 16, 17 odd years. So from my side, the trade-off was always, how much is it going to cost me to get there, to be there, to stay there, to what I'm actually going to learn. So anyway, we want to leave the formal events to do the formal event thing. Let them do what they want to do. So what does that mean for TDW Live? Well, TDW, Tech Data World, we've reached a point of what is it we want to deliver in terms of educational content. And you have to excuse me, it's still a bit nippy here, my nose is running, but I want to focus on emerging technologies and how IPS, standards, specifications, data fit into those. And the reality is that you are not going to glean a tremendous amount of knowledge from a 45 minute presentation tops. And I think at some of these events you're getting 20, 25 minutes to present, which is, I mean, Jesus, that's just not enough for the market that we are in. And I'm sure once you see this, maybe those venues or those events will change. But I want to, and Claire and I have discussed this, is that we want to run more targeted, drilled down workshops where we can take a subject like AI, or we can take an aspect of AI and we can drill down on a workshop day. And that workshop day we can focus intently on a specific aspect of integrated product support pertaining to AI, data analytics, etc. Something where that aligns more with our knowledge transfer first. And so that's definitely the intent. But secondly to that is that I have run now several AI workshops, just getting to my turnaround point here. I have run several AI workshops now where clients have said, can you bring that into our organization and deliver that inside our organization? So the idea is I can make the workshops more portable. And for example, I've had a client in California ask if I can run the AI and IPS workshop in California. It's easier for me to hop on a plane, go to the States, deliver a 1-2 day workshop, and the client can load on 10-15 people, and it's a pseudo workshop training experience. Same with Australia. I've been asked if I can travel to Australia and deliver some of my AI IPS. Latest one, Japan has been in touch asking if I could do some work in Japan from a AI IPS perspective. And it would be much more flexible for us if I could just hop on a plane, deliver a workshop, come home again. And then we don't have you know, we rock up in November for a 3-day event, and Claire has spent 6-7 months putting together that event. And, you know, that takes up a tremendous amount of her time. 2 months running up to the event, I am basically turning away training engagements because I'm getting ready for the event and getting, you know, my presentations ready. And it's all time consuming. And I believe that the market has now moved beyond just rock up 3-day events, watch a 25-30 minute presentation, EasyJet doing some fly rounds. I think they're called fly rounds here at Teesside Airport, so you can hear it above me. And so I want to do the knowledge first approach and focus on delivering smaller but targeted, deeper knowledge so that we can come together, we can learn a subject, maybe you could build something at the event, at the workshop, and then take that back into your organisation and apply what you've learnt, rather than just rock up at a 3-day event, watch a 20-25 minute presentation and hope that you've learned something. So there you go, there you've had it. Public service announcement. Claire and I have decided that this year TDW Live will be our last for now. It's now I have shared that with a couple of people, and you know, I've been asked what does that mean for MOD free spaces, etc. I don't know, TBD, to be honest. Maybe I will run an event for the mod that's gratis from me to you. Anyway, that's the update from us. Any questions? TDW Live registration opening very shortly. Hope to see you there this year for our last for a while in terms of our event. Bye bye now.